Is a message to all teachers. Every teacher needs to be aware of the greatness in the young minds he or she is entrusted with, that they are full of potential waiting to be unleashed. Well, from being a young boy with an inferiority complex to being a motivational speaker and a corporate trainer, that is the power of affirmation from the different teachers he had an encounter with. Darren August is the author and he's here with us in studio. Good to have you, Darren. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Leanne. Thank you so much. It's a privilege to be here.
Awesome. Okay, so you obviously were influenced by a teacher in your life.
Yes,
Yeah.
not even just one, but quite a few teachers who really just took the time to recognize defining moments in the classroom.
Yeah.
And that really shaped who I am today.
All right, so I see that there's one particular teacher, or not one, there's actually a few, from your first teacher to your grade 12 teacher.
Yes.
So obviously, you know, this throughout your life, you were influenced. How were you influenced? How did they influence you?
Leanne, in the second chapter or so, I speak about one specific teacher in grade 2. And I don't know if you remember, but there used to be a subject at school called recitation. And you'd get up and you would just say a poem or a little recitation.
Yes.
And at the end of that year, I got 13 out of 10. And everybody's eyebrows were raised and some of the reactions were like yours. And then what happens is everybody starts blaming, oh, this teacher's not paying attention to detail or she's not doing her work properly. But when we questioned that mark, she said, this child has an above average ability to speak in public, and that's why I'm okay to give him 13 out of 10.
Yeah.
And right there in grade 2, my destiny was defined, and today I make a living speaking in public. So really, really phenomenal. And that's the reason why I decided to just reflect on my life and see some of the great work that teachers have done and really just write a book that inspires teachers to get back to the place where teaching is a calling and not just a job.
Well, you know, that's the reality because, you know, you have these young minds at your fingertips. And as a teacher, it is your job to mold this young mind and inspire this young mind.
Yes.
And you know, you do find on the other side that there are some teachers, like you say, that are just there for the money and that they don't really care. They just go from class to class doing what they do, but they don't actually look at the individual in front of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leanne, it's, I think we're in such a crucial time right now, and I honestly believe that we're heading for a time where school might be the only place where we can influence society. And that is the reason why this book really just speaks to igniting the passion in teachers once again, just reminding them of why they chose what we used to know as the noble profession. So towards the end of the book, I talk about how do you become the kind of teacher that changes lives.
Yeah.
I speak about some of the things children need to hear in school, where teachers need to just say, are you okay? You're beautiful. You can make it. You can be anything you want to be. Never give up. So just little things like that in the classroom that makes a world of difference. Because you leave school and you don't remember your maths and your science and what you were taught. You remember how you felt.
Yeah, and I remember the teacher.
Exactly.
I remember the teacher, and I remember how the teacher made me feel about a subject.
That's exactly
And there's
it.
some subjects that I can completely remember and say, you know what, I was inspired by that teacher.
Yes.
Who was dynamic and fun and showed me a different way of looking at things,
Yes.
and you enjoyed
it. Or perhaps
it.
even discipline.
Yeah?
I mean, I was chatting to the guest that you had up before me in the guest room, and he says, a teacher changed my life. She threw a feather duster at me in the class,
He told me
but
as
because I was
well.
the naughtiest kid. But today I'm a successful business person
Yeah.
because of that discipline that teacher instilled in me. And those are the amazing stories that I'm encouraging people to really get the book and go back and say to a teacher that changed your life, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Here's a book that speaks about what you've done, and read it and just keep reigniting the passion for education, for the classroom once more.
Absolutely, it's unbelievable. You make a comment and you emphasize the role of teaching in the impact of the country by saying changing a country can start in the classroom.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that with all my heart. And I really believe that if we just take the time as teachers to recognize those defining moments, look into the eyes of a little young kid who might have lost their parents, who might not be eating at home, who might be coming to school, and you might really be the only form of a mother or a father that they're ever exposed to. I attended the Discipline Summit hosted by the Department of Basic Education last year, and a young lady stood up in the middle of this whole workshop and said, do you know what? When I come to school, I'm leaving behind a family where my grandparents can't read or write.
Yeah.
I've never met my own parents. And then I get to school, and if a teacher says to me, I'm not your mother, I'm not your father, how does that make me feel? Sometimes I'm looking to you as to be a mother to me. I'm looking to you for guidance. I'm even looking to you to guide me spiritually and discipline me in love. So we really just want teachers to love us and to love teaching us.
Very quickly, Darren, you've had the opportunity to attend both schools. So when you were growing up, you were in more of a disadvantaged community.
Yes.
And then a bit older, you went into a private school.
Yes.
How different was it? I mean, you look at the different kinds of teachers that you get at the respective schools,
Yes.
the influences on your life. How was it?
It was completely different, but the amazing thing that stands out for me, even in the school where that was a little bit underprivileged and from a rural community, lack of resources wasn't an excuse for those teachers to make an impact in my life.
Yeah.
So I look at the fact that somebody just said to me, Darren, it's okay for you to be yourself. We didn't have the best school, but a teacher took the time to say, you can be yourself and you don't need to fit in with everybody else. And that managed to change my life completely.
Yeah.
The private school I attended was a smaller school. We didn't have the best sporting facilities, but a teacher in grade 9 just took a little diary and said, okay, hand in a diary every week and write about your week. And she used that as a tool to counsel us. So my diary entries would be things like, dear diary, things have been tough at home this week. Dad hasn't been working for 2 years. I can see it taking strain on their marriage. Please help. And she would say, just hang in there, it's going to get better, just behave, and, that sort of thing. So I encourage everyone to just go onto the Facebook page and really write about phenomenal teachers that have changed their lives.
Yeah,
and let's get a movement going.
That's amazing. Well, it sounds like you had some good teachers along the way. A Teacher Changed My Life, so you say we can get hold of you on Facebook? Is it called A Teacher Changed My Life?
Yes, the Facebook page is A Teacher Changed My Life. Go on there, celebrate phenomenal teachers. Go on to kalahari.com. It's available online right now.
Yeah.
It launches on Kindle next week. And you can also get the book directly from ourselves, DarrenAugust.com.
Excellent. Well, that's an easy enough name to remember. www.darrenaugust.com. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Leanne.